Hello everyone, I'm the Noobist. You're watching the Noobist Colony. Welcome back to another episode. As promised a few weeks back, I'm going to be posting this video on how to make money with Biochem specifically, as well as how to make money, how I made money leveling up and ensured that I was breaking even or coming out ahead while leveling, instead of spending all my money and saving for that first speeder. Before I get into it, I want to say thank you to everybody that's been subscribing to my channel as well as engaging in conversation of some sort. It's really helping me out. I do want to say that if you haven't subscribed already, there's a little incentive to do so. I'm going to be starting giveaways to random subscribers. I've picked up some 60-day game time cards for SWTOR as well as a few Riot Point cards for League of Legends, so look forward to that. Those are in the coming months. I'd like to build a pretty strong community around my channel and be able to give you guys what you want, as well as do some giveaways and some fun stuff for you. Anyway, let's get into the guide here. So I'll start out by just providing the leveling tips and tricks that I did to ensure that I was making money. I guess leveling up, I found that many people don't want to purchase your one-time use consumables other than med packs. Additionally, people do not want to buy adrenals. I don't know what it is. If people just don't know how they work at lower levels, or if it's one extra key binding they don't want to use, or something like that. So stay away. You can see here my adrenals, I haven't even purchased all of them. It's no use. They don't even sell at level 50. I've bought a few of them. You can see down here the stimulants. I've purchased a little bit more. Again, they don't sell. Nobody cares. You get the stims from PvP for PvP. I think that's pretty much where people use them primarily. So I basically started leveling Biochem and making money off of these tech surgeon med units. Obviously I had to make some other medical supply stuff. I think the compact med unit or something, or med pack. But anyway, this particular one here allows you to heal your companion and yourself for 700 to 850. And also acts as a battle res. If your companion dies in combat, you can use it and it'll kind of res them with a little bit of health. Anyway, these sold very well and allowed me to start breaking even when I was crafting. So I started with that as soon as possible. And before you get to your first implant, you actually get another one, which is the physician's med unit, and I made quite a few of those as well. And again, I believe I sold these for like something like 1,500 credits, which doesn't seem like much, but when you look at the mats and how, I mean, look at, even at level 50, I haven't gone and farmed any of this crap. I haven't really run too many missions of this sort, and I still have 86 blue goo and some unknown organisms, so it's plentiful. These early level mats are pretty easy to come by, and you can just craft and craft and craft. That said, when you get your first implant for level 25, doing a cost comparison, I'll do that quickly here, and this is the reason why leveling up. Not only are people going to be more apt to purchase your crafted bind-on equip items like implants over the one-time use or the adrenals that require an extra keybind, but cost-wise, mat-wise, they're pretty comparable to the other ones. So if you look at like this particular one here, you're talking about two toxic extracts, 4 hallucinogenic compounds, and a single pulse implant processor, which I believe sells for at the crew skill vendor or trade vendor or whatever for like 50 credits, which is really cheap. If you go down to the stim pack of the same level, you're looking at 4 hallucinogenics and 2 genetic anomalies in the hyposyringe, so it's pretty much equal in terms of cost. But the fact that people aren't buying them means that you're not going to make your money back and you're wasting your materials. So what I would suggest you do is craft implants and implants pretty much exclusively leveling up until you're 50, and then you can go back if you really want to and start working on that other stuff to cover more of the market. Even though people tend not to buy it, like I said. Okay, so tips and tricks for leveling up, right? Purchase all of the patterns that you can for implants. first and foremost, make sure that you have all that you can for implants. Keep in mind, you don't have to craft 5 or 6 of one, or 10 of one, or 15 of one, and you shouldn't. It's a waste. At early levels like this, people aren't going to be sinking any more money into the blues or purples than they are in the greens. They're not willing to spend, say you're selling the green version for 5,000 credits, the blue version for 10,000, and the purple for 15. People aren't going to spend 15 when they're level 25. They're just, considering that they're buying a $50,000 speeder package, or a 50,000 credit speeder package. They're just not going to sink that kind of cash into it. So stay away from reverse engineering. I did one just to see how it worked, but other than that, it wasn't really worth it. Okay, so anyway, craft 1 or 2 of each of these, right? If you're gonna skill up into the next bracket to where you unlock what would be the bioreceptive package or implant, make sure that you're covering ground. Like maybe make 2 of the awareness, 2 of the might, 2 of the reflex, 2 of the resolve, 2 of the skill. I think you need like something like 30 crafted total. So those sell through on the Galactic Trade Network. Don't be afraid of that. In fact, even at level 50, people aren't posting too many of these on the Galactic Trade Network, which is foolish. So yeah, make sure that you're kind of leveling up that way and making sure that you're covering ground. You want to be able to craft as many as possible and open up your coverage on the Galactic Trade Network. So there's that. Leveling up, you're going to break even or come out ahead. You'll be able to afford your speeder bike, and I think by like level 32 or something, I had enough for my tier 2 even. So I made a couple 100,000 credits just by covering more of the market and not, crafting 10 of one or something and stuff like that. Okay, so that's pretty much it leveling up. Just make sure that you're following that progression. I will suggest that you always have your companions out on missions. Since you're not really going to be crafting, or if you choose to craft like the med packs or stim packs or adrenals, you're going to need medical supplies from diplomacy. But since I focused on implants, I didn't really need to farm those medical supplies, which cut down my mat cost considerably. So basically what I did was I sent my diplomacy missions, all my diplomacy missions were strictly for companion gifts, for affection for my companions, and that cut down my costs. So that allowed me to focus more on spending money on making sure that all of my companions were out on bioanalysis missions getting supplies, and that really helps out quite a bit. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And that pretty much does it. Just make sure that when you're questing, you're keeping your unused companions out on missions, and B, you are collecting as many nodes as possible, farming as many nodes as possible. If you press your M tab and you have your resources selected or whatever there, just make sure that you are you're basically grabbing any nodes that pop up on your map or on your mini map for that matter. And that's pretty much it for leveling. It's pretty simple. Just make sure you're covering the market, that you have all these patterns, and that you're not exclusively crafting like 10 of one or something, and then you'll start seeing the money roll in. Just focus on that, I guess. So I will say that this video is going to get a little bit longer. It's going to be a lengthy video, but it's going to be covering quite a bit of information here for level 50s and above. I apologize if it's boring to some people, but a lot of people have been asking for this. So anyway, at level 50, you can see I only have like 25 or 2,200, 2,264,000 credits on this tune now. Not very much for level 50. Been focusing on crafting and reverse engineering and stuff, and getting those patterns for level 50, as well as getting my affection up with my companions now. Anyway, my alts have all the implants and stuff. This is very unorganized. I don't usually keep this too well organized right now, but so let's take a look at the auction house and how I make, or the GTN, and see how I make my money, right?